Hi everybody, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about eyebrows. So I'm going to show you how to tint your eyebrows now that we're all indoors and all the beauty salons are closed. So I'm going to show you how to tint your brows, how to pluck the brows, and how to measure, and I'll talk you through all the little steps. You can get these little kits in most pharmacies. Boots do them, a little tinting kit for the brow and the lashes. So today we're just going to be doing brows only. So Lauren is my model, so I'm just going to show you a couple of little steps here on Lauren's brows. So to start off, I'm just going to brush the brows into place. So always brush the hairs right up on both brows. So I have a little bit of tint already mixed. No, I don't.
Will I stop recording?
So I'm just going to apply a tiny little bit of tint to the brows, and that just gives the brows definition. So it fills in the little gaps on the brows, and you can create some length, you can lift your arch, and it just gives a lovely finish to the brow area. So this is just my little bit of tint. So this is just my little bit of tint. So I'm just starting back here, and I'm working that really, really well into the root. So I'm trying to fill in all the gaps. I'm just putting a tiny little bit of colour here, just on the front of the brow. I don't want that to be too dark. And again, once I've applied, I'm working it right into the root, so I'm working back on myself. And I'm going to do the same on the other brow. So with your little kit, you'll get a little applicator as well for applying it. So it comes in a variety of colours. I think maybe light, medium brown. I think there's a blonde and there's a dark brown. And most Boots pharmacies do them. So apply this. So again, once you've applied, I'm just applying a little bit of tint just here. And working it right into the root of the lashes. So then I'm going to come along with a little cotton bud, and I'm going to clean up my area. And I'm just going to mark out the shape of the brow. And again. So you can just see I'm giving a little bit of length to Lauren's brows, and I'm lifting her arch ever so slightly. So I'm doing the same thing here, just giving that nice sharp edge. And the same up here. So I'm taking off the excess. So that usually stays on. That takes quite quickly, so maybe 15 minutes should be sufficient. And in the meantime, I'm just going to tweeze her brows. So to get the perfect brow shape, you need to measure the brows. So you measure from the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye, and you tweeze in here. So your brow should start here, from the corner of the nose to the corner of the brow. Same thing from the corner of the nose to the corner of the brow. That's where your brow should end. So it's almost like a triangle we're making. And then if you just look straight ahead, that's where her arch should be in the pupil of her eye. So I'm just going to measure on the other side of her face. So the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye. And again, the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye. And then looking straight ahead, that's where her arch should start. So I'm just going to get a little tweezers. I like to use this little tweezer man. It's probably the best tweezers. You'll get these on Salon Services. They're a really good tweezer. So what you want to do is you want to stretch the skin really, really well. The more you stretch, the less painful it'll be. So you're taking all the little stray hairs from in here. So it depends on how dark you want your brows to be. If you just want them nice and light, just leave them on for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. They take quite quickly. If you want them nice and dark, remove them after maybe 10 minutes. So I'm just going to take in some of the product off the front of her brow because I want that part of the brow to be not as dark, just like a little shadow of colour. And then I'm going to remove it. So I'm using like a little damp cotton disc, and I'm wiping all over the brow with this. So you can just see the definition it gives to the brow. And just make sure you get right into the root with your little cotton disc. And then I'm going in with my tweezers and I'm just going to take any of the little stray hairs. So it's a good idea to do your brows as well when you hop out of the shower, just that the follicles are open and it's not as painful. So I'm just removing all those little stragglers. And that just gives a really nice fresh finish to the brow. And it just prepares the skin as well if you're going to be wearing some eyeshadow. It just means that you have a lot more room to manoeuvre with. So I've just lifted Lauren's arch ever so slightly. Now I'm just going to remove tint from the other brow. Again, I'm giving a good stretch and I'm just removing that. And again, you just want to make sure you get right into the root, that you've every bit of that removed. And again, you're going to go back in with a dry little cotton bud and you're just going to dry off that area. So then I'm going back in with the little tweezers and I'm just taking any of the little stragglers. Now you can wax the brows as well, but today most people have a little tweezers at home. That's why I'm using the tweezers, just to show you. So everybody is trying to achieve a HD brow now, which is a high definition brow. And a high definition brow is a 7-step brow treatment. So it's waxing, plucking, shaping, tinting and threading. And again, it can just manipulate the brow to create any shape that you want. So it's a great way, if you're growing back your brows, to consider having a little HD brow done. And again, if there's any little stragglers here, just be careful that you just remove them and give a nice finish to the brow. So you're just taking out all of those. And you're constantly stretching the skin. So when you're trying to figure out your brows, okay, so the longest part of the brow should be here and the shorter tail should be here. So this is where you want to create volume, is in this area here. So if you're trying to grow out your brows, I suggest you leave them and you try and create this nice line here. And that can be achieved through tinting the brow. And again, as I said, HD brows, this can be achieved during that. So now I'm just going to fill in the brow. Again, I'm brushing the brow into place and I'm using a little pencil. This is a little MAC pencil and it's in the name Stud. And I'm just giving the brow just a little bit more definition. So I'm just doing little soft strokes and just creating that nice finish. So this is a great way as well if you don't have tint at home and you just want to fill in the brows. Just any kind of a little pencil at all. Rimmel do really nice pencils. Carter Beauty have a lovely range of brow pencils. And then you brush through. So every time you apply a little bit of product into the brows, you just brush through. So I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just creating a little bit more definition just in the arch. And again, I'm just creating a little bit of length here as well. And again, every time you apply something to the brows, brush through. That just gives it a more natural finish. So that's just your little bit of pencil. So now I'm just going to use a little bit of concealer just to highlight the area and just create a little bit of definition under the brow. So with a little bit of concealer and a little flat brush, I'm just picking up a little bit of product and I'm just going right in here under the brows. And there's just one or two here. I'm just going to whip these out. And again, this little bit of concealer creates a nice base for your eyeshadow. And it just gives that nice finish.